I think that men's criteria and what they want in a wife is way less than what the criteria is for what women want in a husband.
So do you?
No. Well, it's not just a matter of looks. I think that men look for maternal instinct.
Okay.
I think that they're looking for like women who could be really good mothers for their kids. So like, if I were to see you and I saw the tats and this and that, I'd be. Again, no offense,
It's
but
okay.
I'd instantly make the presupposition you're going to be a fucking terrible mom. Fuck that shit. But my priority is also children, right? Other men might look at you and think, she'd be a fun ride, right?
Okay.
Literally, amusement park, fun ride. The question becomes this, though. If you know, kind of like all things equal, I think that men's standards for what they're looking for in wives is a much lower standard than what wives are looking for husbands. So, like, what are you looking for if you had perfect husband? Are you married right now?
I'm single.
Right,
I'm
right.
Single right now. I was married.
So,
I'm single.
so
right
let's go perfect husband versus perfect wife. What does that look like?
now. Perfect husband versus perfect wife.
Yeah. So your perfect husband is what?
I think that that's somebody who is a provider, not just for myself, but for the family, the household.
got the provider, sure.
The provider is somebody who is leading by example, somebody
Sure.
who's looking out for us to maybe correct us.
That
as
would
a
be
leading.
strong moral character, right?
Yes, strong moral character.
Strong
of
moral
course.
character and provider. What next?
Somebody who provides some emotional support in that sense. I think because I also bring some financial to the table, but even if I didn't, obviously be able to understand me, to undergo, just like you were talking about earlier with the whole once a month, you're
out with your husband. Mm-hmm. A guy walks over, a rando, and he grabs your ass. Your husband got to knock that fucker out, right?
In my opinion.
He's got to, right?
In my opinion, yes.
Yeah, he's got
Okay?
to.
So, but I think that comes with being the leader, the protector.
So it's not just a matter of provider, right? Protector in the home, but it's also a matter of protector outside of the home. Other
Yeah,
people come.
of myself and of our family.
Of course.
Yes.
So he's got to be strong and a little bit tough, right? He's got to be. So there's actually a little bit more criteria here, isn't there?
Okay.
What is he looking for in you?
I don't know what he's looking for.
You don't know what he's looking for.
No, what is he looking for me to just be?
I'm asking you, what is he looking for? What is this guy who's a great provider? He's fucking epic. The guy grabs your ass out in the club. He's going to knock him the fuck out. What's he get?
I mean, I would reciprocate as much as I can on every other level. I mean, I can't beat up somebody.
No, I'm not asking you to beat up somebody. What does he
Yeah.
get, which is similar to what you're getting?
Loyalty.
You expect loyalty from him.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
what
not
I'm saying.
something new you're bringing to the table.
Okay.
Him
so-
knocking a motherfucker out is something you can't do, right?
Okay.
So what
'Cause
is
he's the man.
what?
He's physically
yeah.
stronger.
So without the equalization,
Okay.
you say loyalty, you're gonna get loyalty from a guy.
Maybe loyalty and brings in a lot of other things. We talked about being submissive or subservience. I know a lot of people take that as a negative, but it's like I'm not really sure. I've never really
Right. Not
thought
really
about-
sure.
I'm not really sure because, as you guys have said, it doesn't take a lot more. It doesn't. Men don't.
Oh,
look for
so
the,
the
same
standard
things.
is lower for men.
I'm not saying the standard is lower.
It sure sounds like you're saying
I'm not
that.
saying the standard is lower. I'm just saying I've never really thought about that because literally
But men always think about that. That's what's
they?
so interesting.
I
Yeah.
don't think men always think about that.
Yeah, they actually do. They think about things almost starting in a transactional rate, right? Like, what do I get versus what you get?
Okay,
and then they move
maybe.
into what they'll settle for versus what they won't settle for, right? What you get is the privilege of saying, I've never really thought about that. Isn't that kind of like slightly problematic?
It's not, but personally,
It's not?
It's not only because personally I'm not actively dating or searching for my ideal person. Have I thought about it? Maybe.
You've dated plenty, right?
I've dated, sure. I've dated,
and
sure.
it still never crossed your mind.
I don't think it's Okay, well, we're not.
It still never crossed your mind.
No. It's not that it's never crossed my mind. I think it's just in a way like. So I'm gonna take it a couple steps back to
Okay.
where when I was married,
Yeah.
I kind of had my role switched where I was the one financially providing. I was the one, my husband.
Like a
stayed
good
at home.
wife?
Like a good wife.
There's going to be times,
I mean-
occasionally, perhaps your husband's sick, Perhaps he has
no,
problems.
I'm
things
saying
like
for
that.
the majority of my marriage, I was the one that did that. So
Why,
I think
though?
roles, because I actually don't want to get into the details of
Okay,
it.
okay.
So, but
whatever the
regardless,
reason is, right?
My point is from my
you
perspective,
did choose that man, though.
I did, but I think I felt years into it that there could have been forms of manipulation or masking, and
Fair.
when kids come into
I'll
the
just
equation,
grant it all. I'll just grant
Yes.
it all.
Okay.
But you move forward, right?
You
so
move
you're
forward.
moving forward. How could it be possible that you can tell me what your value is or the value of women are, but when I ask you the opposition, like what is it that the man's getting on par, you're confused and don't know?
Because she doesn't have to.
Hang on.
I mean,
Let her answer.
go ahead.
No, it's okay. Can you say that to me one more time?
Yeah. What were you confused about? You said, I'm confused. I'm not really sure.
I think because I've never been in a relationship, I haven't gone past a few dates. I know you don't like the word trauma, but maybe I was a little traumatized from my marriage that I don't really know what a strong person should look like in a maybe traditional, more conservative type of relationship, which is something I would like to seek based off of hearsay and other people's anecdotal kind of situations. But I think that's why it's harder for me to say because I'm not sure.
Let's pretend
Yeah.
that we take you out of your skin and we put
Okay.
you in a man's skin, right?
Okay.
So women supposedly are great at empathy. I've never thought so. I've always thought
Okay.
men were more empathetic, and I have great reasoning ability to demonstrate they're more empathetic, but I'm just going to leave it and assume for a second women are actually more empathetic. Just because you lead with empathy doesn't mean you're actually more empathetic, from my view. But here's what I would say. Let's take you, we're going to put you in a man's skin. You swipe across yourself at like 35. You're a 35-year-old man. You've been in the dating field, this and that.
Okay.
I look at you. What do I see?
I see.
Let's start with negatives.
Okay, negatives. Okay, you're really asking me to look at myself. So
Yeah, I'm really asking
Hold
you.
on, let me put myself out, right? Okay, if I'm a guy.
So hang on.
Yes.
Let me.
Yes.
Let's do this again. I want to make sure there's no confusion.
Okay.
You are supposing in your mind, hypothetically, you're a man tomorrow. You wake up, you have your same mind, everything else, and you're looking to date. You swipe across yourself. What are the negative things you see?
I think the first thing is going to be age. What is this person doing on a dating app at her age?
What age is that?
I'm 38.
Okay.
So, but I'm not on dating
There's
apps,
plenty of
but
40-year-olds on dating apps.
There are plenty of
So
them.
what are the
but-
negatives?
Okay, so I think for men that would be a negative. I feel like a lot of men look for younger women, so that would be one.
Okay.
I think depending on the person, I know you mentioned tattoos. That could be something. I got my tattoos with my.
You're a
husband.
man.
I am a man in this.
In this
situation.
hypothetical,
Yes.
what do you see when you see the tattoos on the sleeves and the arms? Tell me what you see as a man.
I don't know.
You don't know.
The reason why I'm telling you this is because, I'm looking. What type of tattoos does she have? Maybe the person that I'm looking for will be similar to me. I have anime tattoos on me. I have, you know what I mean? Like these are all. This is from video gaming. Maybe she's a little bit of a nerd. If I'm being observant. I don't like
you
tattoos.
got 7 fucking seconds that you're looking at these. Hang on.
If
7
that.
seconds looking at this profile. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
If that.
okay.
So 3 seconds. What do I see? I'm you. What do I see?
Let me actually take this back because
All right,
you're
let's take
like,
it back.
let's look at the negatives. But if
Let's
I'm
start. Hang on.
But if
we'll
I'm a
get to
guy-
all the positives.
No, I don't forget the
I
positives.
just want to see the negatives first.
Forget all the negatives.
No, fucking
If I'm-
bullshit.
No.
Bullshit, Cope. Start with the negatives.
It's actually not a cope. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm looking as a guy going on a dating app.
Yeah.
They probably would see me as, oh, she's showing skin. Maybe the age I can put to the side.
Okay, age
She's
is put to the side.
So age, okay? So, okay, she's showing skin.
What does the
she's-
skin? Let's start.
There's-
We're gonna do.
okay,
Hang on. We're gonna do
yes,
one at a time.
Which can be seen as a negative.
What
which
is
why
the
I'm bringing it
skin? What do you think the skin is signifying to the guy?
up. I think she's, comfortable with showing herself a little bit. She's probably a little bit more outgoing. She's not going to be.
Does it signify promiscuity? Maybe.
I think for a majority of men, yes.
Okay,
It
so
could
we got
signify
that.
promiscuity.
What's next? What's the next negative?
I don't know.
That's it. Those are all the negatives.